Hello everybody, hello guys, this is dboypompeyreturns with a Christmassy kind of special video thing here going for you guys. So hello, thank you for tuning in. I know what you're thinking, doesn't look particularly Christmassy. I knew that was going to happen. It doesn't look particularly Christmassy, I know, but yeah, I don't need you talking, thanks mate. Right, so yes, this is basically my Christmassy kind of video. What I wanted to do, guys, because for me, Christmas time is always a time when board games come out, and the family gets around a board game and really does and really gets involved with board game, and you know, the chocolates come out and the alcohol's flowing and it's all good. But if you're like me and you're into computer games as well, I just want to show off a couple of board games in board gamey kind of games, which are really good. I think they work really well, just because they are good games. So the first one I've got on here, if you haven't recognised this game by now, this is Samurai Warriors 2 for the PlayStation 2. Now this game was released in 2006 for PlayStation 2 and the Xbox 360, and it was given a PC port in 2008. Now the game itself I'm not a particularly big fan of. If you know about Dynasty Warriors, which is produced by Koei, the same company produced this one, so it's sort of like a sister game. I was more of a fan of Dynasty Warriors, so I'm not a big fan of this game. But what's drawn me to this game, and really the only reason it's drawn me to this game, is the mini game or the board game, which is called Sugo Roku, which you can see on the screen there. Now this game is so good. It's like Monopoly, but a bit more than that. But I just want to show you it and show you just what it's all about, because it's such a good game and I love it. Okay, so Sugo Roku is basically, you play on a board, which is, it's meant to be a mock-up of Japan, and you get two kind of boards, but I'll show you that in a minute. So let's just go into one player first of all. Okay, so there are quite a few characters, as you can see on the on here. Personally, I don't really even bother to look into these characters too much. I just choose whoever I fancy choosing. So I just go for whatever really. As I said, I'm not a big fan of the actual game itself, so I just go for anybody. I could just do random if I knew how to do that, but I don't. So let's just choose. This guy here, if this is a guy. And then we're going to just choose random characters, I think. And I'll just skirt that, and there we go. Alright, so I've just chosen, basically you get 4 characters on that you have to have in the game. You can play up to 4 people. If you have a multi-tap, and you have 4 controllers. Other than that, you know, 2 players pretty good. But you always have to have 4 players. Now you get a couple of options here to choose from. The map is small or large. I wouldn't tend to go for large unless you are really, really into your board games, into games like this, because it can take a while, and even on a small map it does take a bit of time. And the goal, again, I guess that would obviously change it. If obviously you wanted a massive game, you go for large and 50. If you wanted to do a quick game, small and 5,000. Basically means whoever reaches that target gold, which is what the G is, wins the game. So we're going to go for the small and 5,000. Just go into that, and it gives you a randomised order, and I'm going last in this case. So that's how that is. That always does that. So if you are familiar with Dynasty Warriors, you know it's a third-person slashing game, and there is going to be elements of that in Sugo Roku, but mainly it is just most of it is walking around the board and taking spaces, taking parts of the game. So basically, this is a little introduction. I'll just tell you a little bit. Most of the time, you have to just sort of wait around until your turn. So as you can see, he's just moving around to the part of the board. And if he wants to buy this, which is 445 gold, which he has, it will go his colour, as you can see there. And the same for this guy. Yukimura, he'll do the same thing. So you get a die roll, and you basically walk around and try and purchase as much land as you can to give you more money, give you more gold, and reach that total, which was 5,000. So same again, Yoshishiro, this guy, he will move again, and you can move. You have to move as much as your die tells you to. So if you rolled once, you have to. If you rolled a 1, you have to move 1. So this is my turn now. I can. I have to roll first, and the arrows tell me I can move in a few directions. So I just have to roll first of all. And unfortunately, I ain't really got a lot. So I can move onto someone else's base, and probably shouldn't do that because I think I get fined if you do that. Kind of like Monopoly if you land on someone's spot. Right, so you move this square, and I can just take this one here. Okay, and if you have adjacent spaces, then you get a bit more cash each turn. Okay. You also notice there are these flags on the map. You see the flags, the blue, purple, the yellow flags. Each character has a colour. So I'm after the purple ones. If you get all 3 of your flags and you get back to your home square, the square that you started on, then you will up a level. As you can see, the numbers in the corner where it says 1 at the moment for everybody, you'll go up a level. So basically, this guy Yukimura has landed on my square now. He has to pay a fee, a third of what that tile's worth. So a little bit like Monopoly, you pay a bit of rent. If he doesn't want to pay and he wants to try and take my space, we might go into a mini game, and I'm hoping he'll choose that. But because it's the computer, I don't have any fear. I don't have any say in that. Okay, so he's just paid me. He didn't want to. He decided not to take the square, or attempt to take the square anyway. He just paid the fee. Right, so okay. So again, right, now this guy has landed on a shrine, which gives you 2 dice to roll with, and you can get to do all kinds of things, like a single player challenge, which gives you a bit more money, or it could be some kind of negative thing, like a negative thing would be taking away money, or it could put you in a completely different space on the map. So all kinds of things can happen at shrines, which is quite interesting. And I'm going to go one direction, as you can see. I'm going to land onto a shrine now, so I get a chance to do something here. And I've got 11, but I don't know what that's going to do. Oh, so we've got typhoons. All plays random. So you get little things like that which mix it up. So if you like Monopoly style games that it require you to create tiles and make up and build up a bit of wealth, like kind of games, and then it's a pretty good game. And if you're playing with a friend or two, it's pretty good too. Right, so he's on a shrine, and yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty much the ball. I'm trying to hopefully just want to kind of hang around and see if I can actually get to show you some of the of when we engage. I'm going to try and engage someone just to show you what it's like, because basically when the computers engage each other, you don't see it. So it only happens if you actually try and take another person's square. Then you have to play them if you want to. Right, so I can do it with this guy. So I can try and take Mitsuhide's space. Let's try and do this here then. As you can see, I collected two flags on the way. Now, if I pay the value of this square to challenge the owner, I'll get a chance to take it. So that's what I'm going to do. So yes, nothing to stand in the way of my victory. Right, now with this, when you get these decisions, you have to choose a game. So you get a few. If I press X, right, it's chase. So we're going to find out what it is. So chase says slay as many fleeing enemies as you can. Now each of these cards, that's just shuffling at the moment for both of us, will either give us a negative or an advantage or a disadvantage. So if I press X, right, he's got the advantage. Maybe it's not so bad. I've got attack range down, which doesn't help, but his defense is up, which isn't really particularly important. All right, so basically you've got to walk around here and. Oh god, not doing very well there. You will walk around and see if you can actually win this. If he wins with more kills than I do, which he's doing at the moment, because it kind of sucks, then he'll defend his square and I won't get it. But if I can get more kills than him, then I will get this square, and it's not looking like it's going to happen because I've got like 1 second left and I've lost. Oh, there you go. In that case, it didn't really work out for me. So he gets to keep his square and get some money off me at the same time, so that's fun. There are other games as well. There's Annihilation. You've got to try and defeat as many enemies. There's another one where you have to try and defeat enemies in grounds, and there's another one where you have to break down doors to reach a goal. So there's a few different ones there. So let's just have a little continue how it goes. Okay, and you notice at the bottom of the screen there's a map. Now we are on the small map. I chose the small map of the sort of the layout. With the bigger map, you get a more extensive part of the left hand side, the far left. You get like a sort of an extension, and with the top right, I believe, you get like an island which you can get up there as well. So it gives you a bit more options. But really only go for the big map if this is the sort of game that you'd go into, and if you've got anyone to invest a good an hour or an hour and a half to play a game, because that might take you that long. A couple of negatives, I guess. The first one is I don't think you can save it, so you have to make sure if you're going to play a big game of this, you have enough time to complete it as well, because you can't save it halfway through, I don't think. Let me just see if I can do anything here. I'll find out in a minute. But I don't think you can save it at all. So you have to make sure that you get enough time to play it and complete a game. So I think it's probably better generally if you do a smaller map. Yeah, I'll just press start, and you can't save it. So you have to make sure you have enough time to complete the game. Right. Let's go on to the shrine and see what we can get. I get a 7. Is that going to be lucky for me? No. Okay, so I've got a famine that made the squares nearby get their value to get down. So, well, that's kind of another thing that happens. But really, it's a great game if you like the Monopoly style. And it incorporates parts of the hack and slash game. For me, like I said before, I'm a big fan of the Dynasty Warriors series, which is the same sort of style of game, a third-person hack and slash game. It's just the characters and the storyline of Samurai Warriors series doesn't particularly interest me as much as Dynasty Warriors did. I think when Dynasty Warriors came out anyway, it did it first, and I didn't need to repeat it by playing a very similar game. But this game, Sugoroku, is just excellent if you're a fan of boardy type games, and yeah, I would say go for it. Okay, so guys, that's my little review, if you like, for this first one. Please stay tuned for another video. I'm going to do another game, and hopefully it'll be as good as this one. If this is good, please give it a like or a dislike or whatever. Thank you guys for listening. This has been dboypompeyreturns, and thanks again. Bye bye.